Hi, I'm Eric Lenask here in the TMC newsroom, and it's my pleasure to have on our program today Haggai Eliakim. Haggai is the EVP of Sales and Marketing at Simplicity. Haggai, thank you for joining me and welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be here.
So, as you know, one of the hottest topics in technology in general today is virtualization and virtualized technologies. So many people talking about it. That's one of the things I want to get into with you today. Specifically, how do you see virtual? How do you define virtual? What is virtual?
Virtual, in general, is taking the technology out of the hands of the customer and hosting that on a cloud-based environment. It could be nearshore, it could be offshore. The virtualization of the technology, meaning you're turning out from a technical aspect to a service aspect. So you have your service provider who's providing you with a service based on a kind of a subscription model. And all the technical aspects of the organization and all the maintenance and maintaining and actually keeping the system breathing is being dealt by the service provider. So the business mainly concentrate on his business goals, his marketing plans, and his go-to-market plans. And another aspect of virtual is like having the opportunity to serve your customers instead of having to confront with the technology aspect every time you need to create a new promotion and a new campaign, just to make sure that you have all the resource available, that you can actually do that. You can actually roll out with your current technology and rely on the current technology. So now, when you take it to virtual, usually you will be followed by a service provider who will offer you many features more than you could develop in-house, because you should mainly focus on what you know to do best is your business, and you let the service provider to handle all of the aspects of the solutions. Most thing that you can benefit from virtual is like not all the time being worried about resources, having the right resources to launch a campaign, having the right allocated the number of lines, for example, in the contact center. You get all the technology aspects, all the service aspects from the service provider, and that's how you feel secure when you need to launch a campaign. They need to worry about maintaining the system, patching the system, upgrading the system, and servicing you from different locations and keeping that in a high level of service.
What are the most common obstacles or constraints customers face when they make the decision to go virtual?
I think that the number one constraint is leaving the tangible systems in hand. Like they like to feel the system that is right there, that is serving them, that they control. They have possession over the technology, and this is a kind of an obstacle that also holding them from the other hand of moving forward, supporting their business plans. And so when you maintain a technology in house, you're in a kind of a gold cage. So you have all the technology in hand, you feel that you can do better than others, but you're not focusing on your main business. And I think that this is the main big obstacle of moving virtual, and I think that the industry is a bit of kind of confusing by the terminology that they're using and the way they provide information for the potential customer. And I think that the customer is looking for simplifying things in a way that virtual won't turn to be a frightening word for him. So the virtual is the same as the tangible solutions, but you can have it much more in a fast-track implementation. You can have it in hand as a service, and you don't need to worry about the technology. And if you have the right resource, the right knowledge, and the right capabilities.
So when you talk about running a business and virtualized technologies allowing customers to run their business instead of worrying about the technologies. Right. How does it do that? So sort of what are the real benefits of going virtual?
Okay, so I think that once you decide to move forward and you make the right mindset to go virtual, I think that the most benefit is cutting costs. It's right to the point, to the bottom line. You cut the cost by implementing the solution, and then you don't need to maintain it. So you can save. You can actually direct the resource that would maintaining your call contact center technology to different aspects of the business, to handle other projects, to other information system initiatives and projects. This is one thing. And the other thing is that you can actually host your contact center from different locations around the globe. So you can implement different agents from different locations based on different skill base. So actually your expenses on the workforce is getting lower because you're implementing a solution that you can host from different locations. You can sign up your workforce from different places based on I can say based on a different expenses plan, and in that way you cut costs. So you don't need everyone to be at the same location at the premise and implement it from there. So we go to the real estate side of it, and from that you don't need to occupy floors of contact centers, and many people like your frontline could be implemented from work at home agents. We can also help to save the planet in a greener type. So you don't occupy a large amount of real estate. You spend less electricity and et cetera, and you make it being operated from one location. It's the service provider location, and it's being serving all of these customers as a multi-tenant platform.
Well, excellent. Thank you. Been talking here in the TMC newsroom with Haggai El-Yakim from Simplicity. We've been talking about virtual contact centers. Haggai, thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much, Eric.